Welcome to Wedding and Event Insider. I'm Elizabeth Sherry, Director of Special Events. Today, I have the pleasure to interview one of the most organized and detailed planners in the Twin Cities.
And those little decisions to not do something will free you up to have the time and energy and space to focus on the things that are important to you and that you really love. And when people do that, that's when it becomes a super personalized wedding.
Her creative direction has cultivated a team of planners who execute flawless and stress-free events for couples and planners. I am excited to introduce Jenna Culley of Jenna Culley Events.
My company has been around for about 8 years now, and we really specialize in full service planning. We also do partial planning and then also day of coordination. We also work with nonprofits and foundations and corporations and whatnot. We have a really good team of planners, and we kind of all specialize in different things. And so it's allowed us to really open up to a wide variety of clients. But, you know, I will say our specialty, the one that gets our soft spot, is definitely weddings. And we love that. And we love to work with busy professionals, especially. We tend to get people that have a vision for their day, but maybe don't have the time to really implement it or the means. And so we help them do that.
Nice. So I kind of hear a little bit, but what makes Jenna Culley Events different than other frienders out there?
Yeah, well, there's so many good planners here in the Twin Cities. I think one of the things that makes us different is just we really customize everything to our clients. We don't have set packages per se. And so when I'm hearing what a client needs, that's what we will help them do. And if there's pieces that they feel really comfortable handling themselves, we don't charge them for that. And we really like to customize things because I feel like each wedding is so different. I just couldn't wrap my mind around having these set packages. So I didn't.
Well, and you identified how different they are. So, and I know we're not supposed to have favorites, but is there a favorite client event or wedding that you've done? Is something that sticks out to them, and why was it so special?
Yeah, the one wedding that every time I get asked this question, it's the first one that pops up in my head. It was Katie and Charlie's wedding at the American Swedish Institute about almost 3 years ago now. And I think the reason it really stood out to me, first of all, they were wonderful to work with. I also worked very closely with Katie's mom. Katie and Charlie were both law students working on studying for the bar and working out in California at law firms and for judges, and they were crazy busy. So whenever we could grab Katie's attention to help make a decision, it was like we had to have everything lined up. So the fun part for me was they really let me go wild on the design piece. Katie had some opinions on kind of what she was looking for, but they let me run with it. And it turned out to be one of the prettiest weddings I've ever put together. And it truly just felt like it was their wedding, but it was my design, and that felt really fun. And it helped guide me to the type of clients that I really love working with. That's what made me go, okay, this is my new clientele. It's these busy professionals that want a really nice day for them and their guests, but really want help with bringing it all together. And so that's why it was so special. It kind of pivoted me in that way and made me go, this is what I love. So.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm going to give you some homework, and that you have to send me now pictures of that wedding, because I have that painted picture in my head of that beautiful American Swedish Institute castle. And then, of course, the very modern event space. So I'm just seeing what you would do with that. So you're going to have to send me some photos.
I will do that. Yeah. And those are some that are featured on our website too, because they just were so pretty. They're still relevant and still there. So.
Oh, good. And now a word from our sponsor. Once upon a time, there was a bride named Amy. She and her mother Heidi were planning her wedding. So many little details, so many decisions. Does that sound familiar? They started talking about where Amy and her bridesmaids were going to get ready. Some of the venues Amy had looked at had beautiful getting ready rooms, but alas, the venue she had chosen had a plain conference room. Does this also sound familiar? Her mother said, "You need mirrors and vanities and a place to hang a beautiful gown and pretty furniture for your pictures." They searched the kingdom far and wide, but could not find a rental company that provides these items. So they created one, and they're living happily ever after, helping clients just like you create their own perfect dream day. The next time you need to deck your wedding suite, consider Dream Day dressing rooms. And now back to our show.
So do you have any tip or piece of advice for anybody who's kind of fresh out of the gate, starting to plan their wedding or event? And you can choose if you want to talk weddings on this or event, but just curious if you have any advice.
Yeah, I'll, since I've been talking so much about weddings, I'll stick with that one for this. My piece of advice when whether you're starting in the middle, towards the end, for wedding planning is if you're doing something that it just feels like you should be doing it, but you don't know why, or you don't know exactly what the purpose of this piece is, or, it just doesn't feel like you or your wedding, then don't do it. Just because somebody else has done it, or, a mom or a best friend or somebody else thinks you have to have guest favors, for example, or thinks that you should have this person in your wedding party. Don't do it, keep it so that it's really your day. And those little decisions to not do something will free you up to have the time and energy and space to focus on the things that are important to you and that you really love. And when people do that, that's when it becomes a super personalized wedding. And that's when guests walk away saying, oh, that wedding just felt like them. It just felt so much like them. And I find when couples do just follow traditions, or, do what they think they should do, that's when it gets watered down and more generic and not as them. So that's my piece of advice, do what feels right to you. And if it's not the norm, that's okay. That's what makes fun moments.
And I love that you said that, because I've been a guest at weddings, like you said, that you're like, oh, that was such a wedding for them. And then there's ones where you're just like, just kind of felt like you're going through the motions, and not that there's anything wrong with it, but I get what you're saying with that. And so I love just like almost trusting your instinct is where
Yep.
I feel like you're saying that to clients. Oh, well, good advice, Jenna. So I want to finish off this with us getting to know you just a little bit more with some lightning round questions.
Okay.
So some first instincts that you have after I ask a question, and we just get to know you that much better. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
Good. So tell us, what is your favorite beverage? If it's alcoholic or non-alcoholic, go ahead.
Ooh, wine.
Wine. Is it red wine, white wine, any type of flavor?
It depends on the day, but nothing sweet.
Perfect. So is there something you cannot live without?
Ooh. I'm gonna go with my oils. I use a lot of essential oils.
I get peppermint running right now. And if people who are essential oil people know what that means, is that I needed like energy and a little pick-me-up.
Yep. No, they keep this event planner / mommy calm and energized.
Exactly. All right. And then last question, if you could go anywhere in the world today without any restrictions, where would you go?
I'm going to say Italy.
Ooh, all of Italy, a specific part?
I'd want to go more on the kind of central to southern Italy. I've done northern Italy, but have never made it to central and southern Italy, and took Italian for a year in college and don't remember much of it, but loved the language and the culture. And I mean, there's wine, right?
I was just gonna say the wine comes back. Yep.
And the food and all of that. So I would say, yeah, right now I would take Italy.
Oh, good answer. Well, Jenna, thank you so much for taking the time today. Thank you to my special guest today, Jenna Culley, owner of Jenna Culley Events. For more information on Jenna and her company, please visit jennaculleyevents.com. If you are interested in more content like this Insider podcast, please subscribe to our newsletter at tcwep.com. I'm Elizabeth Sherry, and thank you for listening to Wedding and Event Insider.